Senator Whitehouse just exposed the real weaponization happening right now. Trump's Justice Department manufactured a criminal case without evidence, forced out career prosecutors who refused to play along, and got shot down by federal judges, all to freeze climate funds because Trump calls climate change a hoax. This isn't politics, it's prosecutorial ethics being systematically dismantled.
So they triple check and backstop every application to ensure that they are ironclad. In my U.S. Attorney's office, a federal judge shooting down one of our warrant applications would have set off internal reviews. That should be what's known in the medical field as a never event. It's a shocker, particularly with the U.S. Attorney presenting the petition in person. Even that series of disasters didn't stop this scheme. Somebody started shopping the case to other U.S. attorneys' offices, hoping that some other office would try again in a different district. Well, shopping a case around U.S. attorneys' offices after the matter has been shot down in court, that's red flag 6. It seems that no other U.S. attorney's office has been willing to go before any court with this hot mess, but somehow a federal prosecutor down in Florida ordered Washington-based FBI agents to start questioning EPA employees about the grant program. Well, we're going to find out more about that. But meanwhile, in a related case, a different federal judge blew up the EPA administrator's administrative effort under Trump's executive orders to freeze these funds. And they defended the freeze with the same pretext, that there was fraud that needed to be prevented. Well, the judge asked, "Tell me about the fraud. Show me some evidence." There was none. The judge noted in her decision that for all the big talk, the administration could produce, her words, no evidence to support that claim. So a second federal judge shoots down the scheme. We're up to red flag 7. Compounding this prosecutive fiasco, both Martin and EPA Administrator Zeldin unleashed a barrage of public comments, flooding the information zone with public accusations of fraud. The same accusations of fraud that the career U.S. attorney staff rejected and the magistrate judge determined to be unfounded, and the judge said DOJ and EPA had offered no evidence to support. Well, that's a problem. Unfounded accusations of fraud are what lawyers call defamatory per se, and derogatory public comments about the subject of an investigation is trouble under multiple Department of Justice policies. The administration officials' public comments were out of bounds. I've been a U.S. attorney. You don't get to do that. Discovery in civil litigation will likely ultimately reveal the depths of the misconduct, the potentially unlawful motive, and their potential liability for their misconduct. We are not at the end of this yet. But what we see is real weaponization, not MAGA phony claims of weaponization, part of a political propaganda campaign to excuse the criminality of the dear leader. Here, all these red flags of actual weaponization are flying. Internal warnings that the case had no merit, removing officials for disagreement, proceeding without a career attorney, getting shot down by a magistrate judge, case shopping after the disaster, hunting for FBI agents to harass career civil servants for managing properly congressionally appropriated funding, making derogatory public comments, and all without evidence. Compare that to the federal criminal cases against Trump. There's no record of internal warnings being ignored that the cases had no merit. There's no removing of officials for disagreeing with the case. No pleading was ever filed without a career attorney signing, just signed by a politico. No application was ever shot down by a judge. Indeed, the Mar-a-Lago warrants were judicially approved. Despite very aggressive lawyering for Trump, no finding of a prosecutor's violation of department policy was turned up. No matter had to be case shopped to other districts after falling apart in one district. No harassment by FBI agents with no court pleading to back them up. And no derogatory public comments ever made outside the pleadings the government filed. Red flag count in the Trump cases, 0. Red flag count in this sorry episode, 7. If Trump's corrupt DOJ will go through all of this just to grab properly appropriated climate funds, imagine what they're capable of with really bad stuff. We are in store for lots more actual weaponization in the coming months and years under this corrupt administration. So, easy for me to say that this will be continued. I yield the floor.
What Senator Whitehouse revealed wasn't just another political accusation, it was surgical dissection of how justice system gets corrupted in real time. He walked through 7 red flags using Climate Fund episode to illustrate threat to democratic institutions. Congress controls the purse. Climate Fund was properly appropriated in August 2022, grants awarded in April 2024, and funds distributed to private bank. This was constitutional process working as designed. Trump calls climate change hoax, but personal opinion doesn't override constitutional law. President's veto power had expired years earlier. So, how do you freeze funds you have no legal authority to freeze? You manufacture a criminal investigation. Predication means you need factual basis suggesting crime before opening criminal investigation. It's essential ethical guardrail preventing law enforcement from being used to harass political opponents. Career Criminal Division Chief spotted the problem. No predication, no evidence of fraud, no factual basis. She warned that launching investigation without predication violated prosecutorial ethics and Department of Justice policy. Deputy Attorney General Emil Bove and U.S. Attorney Ed Martin ignored that warning. When Criminal Division Chief refused to participate, Martin forced her out. Red flag. 2. Removing career officials for refusing to violate ethical standards. Martin couldn't find single career prosecutor willing to sign on to case. Not one experienced attorney would put their name on this investigation. This echoes Nixon's Saturday Night Massacre, except there was no Robert Bork. Red flag 3. Martin proceeded alone, signing court filings in his own name. Career attorneys sign every pleading because they provide institutional nodule and ethical oversight. When political appointee bypasses that system, it signals case couldn't survive scrutiny. Red flag 4. Federal magistrate judge denied Martin's petition. For prosecutors, this is never event. Red flag 5. Someone started shopping case to other U.S. attorneys' offices, hoping different district might be more accommodating. Case shopping after court rejection is red flag 6. No other office took the bait, but Florida prosecutor began directing FBI agents to question EPA employees. Martin and EPA Administrator Zeldin launched public campaigns alleging fraud. Same fraud allegations that career prosecutors rejected, that magistrate judge found baseless, and that second federal judge said lacked supporting evidence. Red flag 7. Unfounded fraud accusations are defamatory per se, and Department of Justice policy prohibits derogatory public comment about investigation subjects. These policies prevent prejudicing potential juries and turning criminal investigations into political theater. Whitehouse delivered devastating comparison. In federal criminal cases against Trump, none of these red flags appeared. No internal warnings were ignored. No officials were removed for disagreeing. Every pleading had career attorney signatures. No applications were rejected by judges. Red flag count in Trump cases, 0. Red flag count in Climate Fund, Episode 7. This episode illuminates dangerous trends. Selective enforcement based on political priorities rather than evidence. Institutional hollowing as career professionals are forced out. And erosion of judicial oversight. Climate Fund case reveals who pays when institutions are weaponized. Environmental programs are frozen. Fund recipients face uncertainty. And career civil servants are subjected to FBI questioning for doing their jobs. When Justice Department becomes political instrument, public trust evaporates. Whitehouse ended with chilling observation. If Trump's Justice Department will deploy all these tactics just to freeze Climate Fund, imagine what they'll do with really bad stuff. This episode is preview. Red flags suggest coordinated effort to subordinate law enforcement to political will. Democracy dies when law enforcement serves partisan ends rather than equal justice. Whitehouse's dissection shows that death happening in real time